Hey guys, this is Kuro and welcome to Promo Look At. These are basically videos that I do for tabletop gaming. And without further ado, today's promo is going to be for... It's actually a new one for me, Pokemon, for the trading card game. And today's promo is actually going to be the very first Wizard promo, which was actually right back here, which was Pikachu. Here's a close look of it. For you guys to know, this is the Black Star Pikachu. This was the very first Pikachu that came out for the Wizard promos. He was the very first one. It'll say it right down here. You won't be able to see that unless you zoom into it. But yeah, you're asking me, what does he do? Well, if you don't know by now, this card has been out since '99. In Japan, it was '96. But yeah, it's a basic Pokemon. It says Pikachu has 60 hit points in electric type, which we all should know. It has a little database on him. Mouse Pokemon length 4 inches, weighs around 13 pounds. Its moves are Growl. If the defending Pokemon attacks Pikachu during your opponent's next turn, any damage done by the attacks is reduced by 10 after applying weakness and resistance. Benching either Pokemon ends the effect. So if your opponent was attacking with let's just say like Slash, and it was doing 10, you received no damage at all. His next attack actually costs 2 electric. Oh, I almost forgot. Growl is actually colorless, so that means you can play any type of energy just to use that Growl. But his next one actually does consist of 2 electric energies, so you need 2 electric types to use this Thunder Shock ability. And it says flip a coin. If heads, the defending Pokemon is now paralyzed, which is actually good because you stall that Pokemon for one turn. Yeah, it's a stall game, so it'll make it a stall game. So you paralyze it, it won't be able to move. But yeah, it actually has a weakness to fighting, which will be ground in Pokemon the TCGR game. That'll be fighting is ground and rock and fighting as well. So it's like those 3 put together. Sadly, there is no rock or ground in this game. Its retreat cost is 1, so that means you could use whatever energy and you could just retreat it. And down here it says, when several of these Pokemon gather, their electricity could build up and cause lightning storms. Level 16, number 25. So it gives you a little data from the video game there. It also gives you the creator illustration by Kiji Kinabachi. I can't say his name, but it says right here also 95, 96, 98 Nintendo, Creatures Game Freak, 99 Wizards. So that's where I know it's a Wizard promo, because they'll say it at the end. This other information just basically says other little information, Game Freak being the company. They normally consider this Pokemon the Ivy promo due to the grass, I guess, in the back, and the Ivy Pikachu, yeah, for the background, and it has like a 3D model. But other than that, you wouldn't be using this. This is more for like collectors now. If you were to use this in the game now, I think you'll get just destroyed by every other Pokemon that's out there, because the game has evolved to the point where there's more HP, more attack for basic Pokemon, more attack for bigger guys. So I don't see him being used. Now, how did he become available? Well, in Japan, he came out in Kokori. And they released them with Jigglypuff, and they were the very first promos released in Japan. And they're sort before the first expansion promo set came out. I'm not too sure about that because I wasn't into Pokemon at that time, but I just read this up on the internet, and yeah, that's how he came out in Japan. And then there were other ways too that it came out. It came out through another magazine, which I don't remember the name of it. And then when it finally came to the States, it was actually released through the Pokemon Leagues. And that's how it first came out in the States, through the Pokemon Leagues. So you basically won it at Pokemon tournaments that were held like at Toys R Us or other little small gaming stores. Other than that, there was a Portuguese promo that was also released. I think it was called the War Tour, and it'll have Pikachu's tail here. It was actually released with other promos, but Again, that's the Portuguese version, so it's a little different. And there is a first edition of this guy, which is actually very expensive. I never got my hands on it, and I knew about it for many years, but I just never got my hands on it. But I only have the regular one. The regular one is actually not expensive. So if you were to purchase this for collecting reasons, he's around $2. This one right here, this particular one, the Portuguese version, is around $8, $8 to $10 if I remember correctly, and that's if you check out Troll and Toad. So I'm getting all this information from Troll and Toad from the Portuguese one. The regular one, if you go to Cool Stuff, this one, Cool Stuff or Troll and Toad, it's around $2 less depending on the condition of the card. The first edition, I only saw it on Troll and Toad, and he goes like for around 110, if I remember correctly. eBay does sell him, so people do overprice him, but eBay does sell him. The first edition one is actually very, very, very expensive. It's like around 150 for it. So I do not recommend to buy the first edition if you're collecting. I mean, if you want to have it just to say, look, I have it, and to show it off, okay, go ahead. But it's a really pricey promo unless you're a real big collector that collects everything first editions on first edition. So in that case, yeah, go right ahead. But first editions for old school cards like this guy are very expensive. But other than that, yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything more for him. Yes, this is the Wizard promo. Let me know in the comments below if you guys think you should purchase this guy. And before I forget, I knew I was forgetting one more thing. It does fit in sleeves, and I do like to sleeve my cards. So yes, there's Pikachu in a sleeve. And without further ado, like I said, if you guys think he's worth getting, let me know in the comments below. But I don't recommend to getting him to play with him. He's an old school card. I mean, there's much better cards nowadays. I don't really know them, but I know that right now I can tell you, if you're a collector, go right ahead and get him. He's pretty cheap right now. He's not as expensive as other promos that are out there and other single set cards that are out there for the sets. But special thanks goes to you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.